this is the Vindicated Podcast number 2. I am your host, Vincent Baker, and we have the co-host, Trey Falco here.
Hey.
And we have a special guest, John Fredrickson, a.k.a. Ajax.
Sup, guys?
And today...
Man, he's always here.
Yeah. The special guest is especially always here. Anyways...
Can't get rid of him.
Yeah, we can't get rid of him for anything. Someone help us. Anyways, this podcast is all about Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, the new Borderlands expansion, Borderlands 2 expansion, to clarify.
So much fun. So much skeletons.
Yes, so many skeletons. Whoever went to work on that really loves skeletons because they have...
They're everywhere.
Yeah, they have so many... I mean, they have everything from skeletons, they have orcs, fairies...
They have golems.
Yeah, golems...
Dwarves.
Treants, but, like, the skeletons, there's, like...
They're in every little place you go to. Like, some of them have little, like, special, like... The forest has, you know, just pixies that are specially to the forest, but there's skeletons in the forest. There's skeletons in the...
They're mean.
They are, and they don't die.
Yeah, I know. It was just like... It took us, like, whole 5 minutes to kill them.
I think there's literally...
We were level 24.
Right, we could have done it.
There's like, there's like literally, I think, like 11 different skeleton like types.
Yeah.
I didn't have my sniper, so...
So just real quick, Trey, what would you give this game or the download content 1 out of 10?
I'd give it a 9.
And
I wouldn't say it was perfect, but it was.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
From what I saw, it was funny.
Oh, it was hilarious.
Yeah, I could definitely appreciate the variety of enemies because they were right. Like they didn't reskin a single enemy. Like there's no bandits.
Everything moved completely different.
Yeah,
especially the ogres, man. How fast they were. Did you ever?
The
swordsmen.
Yeah, those things were on your tail, dude. They were huge, but they were able to get up to you
Try
fast.
being a sniper, dude. I'm glad I had a sniper. It didn't have a scope on it, so I was just aiming down iron sights. But good lord, those things would come up on you fast.
You had an automatic sniper there. That's not fair.
Not at that point in time. When I went through, when you and I did it, I did. But then I had upgraded to another sniper, and it was doing like 2,400 damage. Plus, if I hit a critical, it was hitting like 20,000.
Yeah, and you played it. You played it with Zero, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I played it with. Overall, the experience was pretty well. I mean, it started off kind of rocky for me because I had like really bad equipment, but and you have to also figure out how the new enemies work because they play way differently. Like,
you have to find their criticals. You know, a lot of enemies you go through Borderlands and you run into a lot of the same enemies. So the criticals are
bandits. You know their heads. They always kind of move the same way, but these things they move like these things are like hard to get headshots on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, overall, like
that's why I'm glad I did the I went down the left tree. I forget what it's called. Isn't it just straight sniper?
It's marksman, I think.
Marksman.
Maybe it might be sniper. I don't know.
Yeah, but when he cloaks, he uses his special. It highlights criticals, and there's somebody. The ogre berserkers don't have any criticals. There is not a single critical spot on them.
The guys that charge at you like the bull guys.
They're not. They don't have any criticals because I cloaked and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna find that. Oh, that sucks.
I am doomed. I'm personally going down the cunning tree where whenever I go to deception, I just throw kunai at everything.
I couldn't remember what it was called. Deception.
Yeah, I'm just like throwing kunai at everything, and I mean it's working out pretty well so far. I'm working on getting the boar skill on the other tree. So out of all the enemies, what's your least favorite enemy you've encountered?
Skeleton seers, just because they're the ones that teleport.
Oh yeah, where you can't. Yeah, they're like gone more than half the. Oh yeah. By the way, this is completely. There's gonna be spoilers in this, I'm sure.
Yeah. Like
lots of spoilers. So if you have not played it, please do not continue listening.
Yeah. Right now we're just talking about enemies, so it's not too much of a spoiler.
But eventually we're getting into spoilers. So
unless you don't care about spoilers.
Unless you don't care,
yeah,
but
you don't care, but
yeah. But overall, I mean, okay.
But those guys, they cloak and you can't tell where they're gonna pop up. Like I try and follow like the little lightning thing that they leave behind or whatever, but that doesn't even show where they go.
Yeah, like I had a shotgun and I was shooting at that thing and I swear it wasn't doing any damage.
I got to the point where you know how when you aim down the sights, it'll auto target onto something, it'll fix it on there. What I would do is when they popped up, I'd shoot at them and then I'd wait, and I had my sniper rifle. So when they pop up, I'd snap to them real quick and just pop a round into them, and then I'd have to dodge their little electric attacks that would drain your shields. That's the best way I could do it.
Yeah, it's hard for me because it seemed like your attacks did like minimal damage too. Because I'd go into Deception and I'd be ready to throw Kunai at it, and as soon as I go into Deception, they'd just like teleport or cloak or whatever. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like these things take forever. Like they were. It would almost be better if they just weren't even in the game.
Yeah.
Like those things are so annoying. Like I kill off like tons of enemies, and all that's left is like 3 of those.
That's the only one I really had a problem with. That, or I kind of had a problem with the badass skeletons, just because they shoot the laser thing from their eyes, and it just, I mean, it can down you like that.
Yeah, the first time I encountered the flamebow archers, those guys, I think they downed me the first time because those guys were just, they have like crazy range and they just shoot fire everywhere.
And the fire like stays forever. Yeah. But I didn't realize at first when I fought them the first time, but after I actually paid attention to what I was doing, their health bar is yellow, so you can just use corrosive on them. Because I ended up fighting them in the nights and just using a corrosive SMG, and it killed them in like a few seconds.
See, I barely had any corrosive weaponry. I'm not even sure if I did.
I found it. One of the knights actually dropped it, and I picked it up, so I was really lucky.
Yeah, I was kind of screwed on that end. But let me tell you, like, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's an interesting thing too. You don't run into any enemies with weapons like guns,
except for the dwarf Zerker.
Yeah, the dwarf Zerker. That's
and the orc Zerker.
And the orc Zerker. Yeah. Those are the only two that have guns. Everybody else is either melee weapons or they have like. You have archers. It's really cool.
But the ones with melee weapons, they still throw things, and then they have mages and sorcerers. Those guys are actually pretty tough.
Those are,
Which is cool, because if you kill some of them, they have a chance of dropping lightning bolts and fireballs and stuff, and you can actually equip it as if it was a grenade. And then after you use it, you kind of like use it as if you're casting a spell, and your guy will say lightning bolt.
See, I didn't know that the first time I played through it. I'm gonna have to go back through on Krieg and.
Yeah, it's really cool. Honestly, they're both kind of weak. The lightning bolt kind of works well on the skeletons.
Do they drop their own bows?
No, they don't.
That's stupid.
But the best spell one is called Magic Missile, and you throw it, and it's like these. I'm pretty sure there's 2 of them. I haven't got it yet, but I've seen someone use it, and it slags the 2 enemies.
That's
it just coats them in all the slag, so that's pretty good. By far, like the scariest enemy in the DLC is the mimics.
Yeah, those are. I would
like. Did you see have you seen the mimic, Ajax?
I don't think you did. The chest when you open up like.
Yeah, you're like, oh look, there's guns. Like you go, like literally, you go to open up the chest and get guns like normal, and you're so accustomed to this because you played Borderlands 1, then Borderlands 2, went through all the DLC, for hardcore players, and then all of a sudden, like you go to open this thing, and it just like
turns into this creature,
and it does it scary, like fast, and it's coming at you. It has this huge tongue, a huge like big eye, and it has it's like wobbling towards you, sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally freaks me out. It makes my heart drop.
Yeah. Because you don't know when it's going to happen. So I'll see stuff like, there's one part where you go, going up the tower or whatever, and there's like 4 chests. There's like 3 here, like on each side, and then there's the one where you roll like a D6 or a D20.
And I see those, I'm like, oh, I'm safe. I don't have to worry about that.
But the other 3 that could potentially be a mimic. So I opened one and I was like, okay, there's weapons in here. And I left the 2 alone and went on.
That's literally how scary it is. Like, you debate whether or not you should open it for the guns.
Well, the reason I found them scary is just they don't die. Like, I'm using sniper, so I'm like sitting here trying to like kill them. And
yeah, see, I use shotguns, man. Because the way my Zero's leveled up is he's not leveled in snipers, so they're not too challenging for me to kill, but they literally just scare me. I ran into like a middle of a bunch of orcs though, and I opened the chest in the orc village, and it was a mimic, and it went and started attacking the orcs, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love how the enemies attack each other too.
Yeah, I actually saw like this interview where the guy said that's one of their favorite moments is when they have enemies attack each other, because they said it makes everything seem a lot more real, and I like that too. Especially if you can like lure some enemies into fighting other enemies.
Oh yeah, I remember the first time I went. You remember where the dwarves were? Mm-hmm. Well, I went up under there, and I had one of those orc, what are the warlords, the ones that level up.
Oh, dude, those guys are actually hard. Yeah,
they're really hard, and they're criticals on their head. But dude, I shot this orc, and I thought that I'd killed him, but apparently I didn't. So I started going through a little bit more, and I was killing more orcs, and they kept chasing me back into this one area. And as I came back into this area, I was level, I think, 31 or 32 at the time. And I came back in, and this orc had leveled up to level 39.
Yeah, like they literally get impossible to kill. If they level up like all the way, they're like literally impossible.
Well, he leveled up to like 37 and I killed him. Running around and cloaking, like using deception and then popping out and shooting him in the head.
Yeah.
And the critical would do like he'd have like this much health and then it just
because they can see that.
Like, yeah, well, you know what I mean. But
yeah, it barely did any damage. But I mean, I guess they weren't impossible to kill, but if they're leveled up all the way, they're really hard to kill.
Apparently, there was a second one in there that was leveling up too, and he went up to 39, and I almost killed him, and then he killed me. I had him down to probably it would have taken like 2 or 3. Yeah, it would have taken like 2 or 3 more shots to kill him, and I died. And so I just went into deception when I went back into the village and just ran through the village and didn't mess with any more orcs.
So have you came across Aubrey, the teenage treant?
Is that the girl with the glasses?
The
you
teenage
have to
voice. I thought she looked so weird.
She did. And then you got to go plant that tree in the orc village.
His name's like Mustache or Mustachio
yeah,
or something
like
weird.
that.
Yeah.
But he goes around and destroys the village. But good thing he doesn't take that much damage because those orcs came out of everywhere and they were like ridiculous to kill.
Yeah. Luckily, he was a lot of help actually.
Yeah. Oh, he'd smack them like halfway across the village.
But yeah, overall the DLC was a lot of fun. The story was really good. The comedy was up to par. That's a definite.
It was a lovely day. Didn't you just say it was?
Did you say that it's destroyed the whole village and everything?
Oh, right. I mean, it was a dark and cold night.
Yeah, I think they've done a good job with the characters too, like developing them and making them have more personality, like giving them more roles and stuff.
You get to see Torg. I don't know if any of you have played the DLC, like the Torg DLC, but in this one you actually get to like physically be there with Torg.
Yeah, he comes in and he starts kind of like ruining the campaign as far as like Lilith is concerned, because he's like, I want you to blow up the ocean, and she's like, get him out of here, like he's ruining our game. And then
they give him a test.
Yeah, they end up banishing him to the stocks or whatever, and but I mean, I guess he's cool with it.
Yeah, he was cool with it.
He's just like, yeah, the stocks.
That is awesome.
Okay.
Well, the ending was really,
yeah,
like it was really touching.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah,
like no one dies, thankfully, in the board game or nothing. Oh yeah, for those of you that don't know, this whole DLC is based around them playing.
Basically like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it's like a Dungeons and Dragons thing, which is actually sort of similar to like what we're doing with Otherworlds. Yeah. So if you guys are familiar with the DLC, that's what Otherworlds is about.
That's what made it so funny to me, because it was just like, because if something unexpected happened, I mean, you heard her saying, "Oh, I'm sorry,
yeah,
so."
Like, I wouldn't go there if I was you. She's like, I didn't balance the combat over there on that side.
Yeah, so they had like a lot of relatable references where like you would encounter enemies and they'd be too tough because the game master like made them too hard for the players to kill and things like that.
Yeah, because we've had to nerf some people in mid game and Otherworlds.
Yeah,
because they were too tough.
Yeah,
we didn't realize it was gonna be this.
Yeah, so we'd have to nerf them real quick.
It's just a game in making still. I mean.
Yeah, the game Otherworlds is still in making. So whoever comes and helps us play, like,
it's really just helping us perfect the game or get it better.
Yeah, we still have a lot to add on to it.
Don't expect it to be amazing.
I mean, it's fun. It's really hilarious.
Just don't expect it to be, Dungeons and Dragons like.
It's sort of like whenever games release new characters. I'm going to just call out like League of Legends, and it's like they realize, oh, this guy's really good. Like he needs to get nerfs, and so they nerf this guy in the next patch. So it's sort of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly. But back on Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, I love all the different references they have. Like they have like one where you die and you respawn, and they're like,
think of me as your own personal Phoenix Down.
Yeah, like I love that one.
That was cool.
There's that reference to Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Have you done that mission?
Which one?
It's called Lost Souls, I think.
Yeah.
And then you get all the Lost Souls, and like if you like read what it says something like, it says in this soul he was like, it said something about him breaking his controller, just like referencing how tough like Dark Souls is to.
Did you do the MMORPG? MMORPG FPS is the name of the mission, where you go and fight other MMO players. They're
Yeah, and then you have to actually make them rage quit by teabagging them and like
Yeah, you have to
no-scoping them and
teabag
stuff.
them, no-scope them in the head.
They're all called like
No scope.
They all have different names. One of them was 420 Blaze It, and that was his name.
Yeah.
And he talked like an idiot. He'd be
yeah.
like,
He's just like he's like YOLO 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 #YOLO.
yeah.
Like you have to teabag them and like make them rage quit and stuff.
Mhm.
He's like whatevs, man. And then there's like two others, but I don't remember.
I don't remember their names.
I feel like
one of them was a paladin.
I feel like
remember
one.
that.
I almost feel like one was named like Jesus Freaks.
Something like
and
that.
then like the other one's like Vault Hunter Pro
Mhm.
XPS or something.
Like, oh, dude, you're hacking or something like that was their excuse for you killing them.
Yeah, and the content's so big. Like, there's so much to do there, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear anyone mention this, but I think the soundtrack is really good.
It's really good. It's probably one of my favorites. Just it helps set the
The tone.
yeah.
The mood.
Yeah, like whoever done the soundtrack for that done a really good job. So what'd you think about the ending where you guys end up? Tina imagines that Roland's there. He's the White Knight to come help you, and then everyone around the table,
They keep like, Tina, he's dead. She's like, no, he'll be here soon. He'll be here soon, or he's helping out.
Yeah, and it's kind of pissing them off because they're still grieving over him, and she's kind of like ignoring the fact that he's dead, even though that she should know at this point.
Yeah.
At the very end,
So
he comes.
She's in
like denial.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
And it gets to the point, it's kind of like a replay of when he died.
Yeah, because Handsome Jack's behind him, and then he goes to like shoot a magic spell at him to kill him from the back.
I forget. Oh, Bloodwing came
Yeah.
in, but she was, before it hit, she kind of broke down crying because, she's like, I know he's dead, blah blah blah,
But it's my game. I just want him to be alive in this. Like it's what I imagine. Blah blah blah.
Does he die in the game?
Mm-hmm.
No,
he dies in the real game. Like
No, I was talking about the DLC.
no, he doesn't die in the
Okay.
deal. They're like, you know what? He can be alive in this. Blah blah. And then they're like, yeah, we want to know what happens. And then she's like, well, Bloodwing comes and rescues him. And for those of you that have played the story, Bloodwing also dies. And then as soon
so sad.
yeah, but Mordecai, I thought it was awesome when Bloodwing was in the DLC. He's just like, oh heck yeah, that's what I'm talking
I'm
about.
pretty sure that's what got Mordecai into it. Like why? Because he was kind of skeptical at first. like why are we playing this freaking game?
Oh
This
yeah,
is
that was
stupid.
funny.
But
Yeah,
I think after that it
Roll
was
for initiative.
it grew on him, and he was
Yeah, that's right. I said.
yeah. Each of the characters like playing the DLC board game, they all kind of resemble like actual players that play RPGs.
like Brick.
Yeah, you have like the guy that enjoys the game, but he doesn't know what he's doing.
So he goes around. I punch it. Like what?
Yeah,
no,
it's-
don't punch it.
It's like you encountered the dwarf leader. What are you going to do? It's like I punch him. It's like
no, Brick, don't do that. No,
please
no.
don't. Please. And then you punch him, and all the dwarves are mad at you, and that's why they're trying to kill you.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. And like whenever you punch him, I believe he explodes.
He
and stuff. Yeah.
explodes and dies.
He's just like
Which is funny with the Angel, the Spider Queen or whatever she turned out to be. He's like, I punch her. No, Brick. He's like, fine, I talked to her because he rolled a 20 both times when he punched him. So he talks to her. She ends up being evil, and you should have punched her anyway.
yeah. He's like I told you I should have punched her. And they're like, dude, she's actually pretty tough. Like
She was the hardest one. Like, Handsome Jack was easy. I had trouble with the dragon just because I was using a sniper, and it's kind of hard to get a critical on a dragon. But
yeah.
I had to switch to a rocket launcher and just blow him away. But
I had to switch to a rocket launcher. No big
but
deal.
the Spider Queen or whatever, excuse me, she wouldn't die.
Isn't that the same one where like they had the trap set up where the walls would come up and crush you? Like right before that point, you'd have to like walk. Dude, I didn't know there's a switch on the other side to stop
Yeah.
the wall crusher thing. So I kept getting crushed by the walls. Like
Mhm.
I don't know why I was so bad at that. Like
Well, the first time I did it, I ran over and I was gonna jump over like to the next one because it was just a little bit lower, the one that I was on, than the one that was coming down. And when I jumped, it crushed me. I was so pissed.
but yeah, the new DLC has tons of enemies. It has like a really good story. It definitely has the best story of all the DLCs.
Yeah, which is like, Torg, you just kind of went through and killed a bunch of people. This actually is more...
It's geared towards the main characters a lot. And it's definitely the direction they need to go in for future DLC and for the future of the game. Even like all your characters that you play as have like their own unique dialogue that they say.
Which I like that a lot.
I like the one where you go to the dwarven puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
and then Zero says something like, maybe I should look this up.
Yeah.
Or something
online.
Yeah, maybe I should look this up online. I was like, that's a great idea, Zero. That's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did. I'm really curious what the other characters would say.
I actually didn't. I just kind of ran around and hit all the little circles, and it just kind of worked. I don't know if I did it right. I just got lucky, but...
Oh, well, what you have to do is you have to, I think you have to hit them all to bring the thing down, and then they all, like, shine their, like, little light thing on it, and then you have to do it in backwards order.
Okay, I didn't know that. I just kind of ran around and hit all of them and did it, and it just happened in one thing, and then he was like, I punch it, and then I punched it and it broke.
Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, if you do it successfully, he doesn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe you get something else for it. Did they open up, like, that thing where you got the chest?
No, he just goes, I punch it. He punched it. I forget what it did.
Okay, yeah, with me, I looked it up, like Zero said, and then I didn't get to punch it, but it unlocked, like, this chest where I got some weapons or something.
That's cool. Okay. See, I like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. It definitely has value to, like, replay value to go back and play it again, and there's more missions that they add after you even beat the DLC.
I haven't gotten a chance to do those, but...
I'm trying to think of some of the other missions they have there.
Excuse me. Slippery when wet, that gun. The critical fail.
Oh yeah, that's funny. It's like, oh, let's try to pick up this weapon. And it's like, okay, well, you're going to need to roll to see if you can pick it up. And they're like, why do we need to roll? And it's like, I don't know, it's part of the game. And then they roll a 1. And then they're like, how did we miss picking it up? And it's like, yeah, the gun just flew up in the air and shot over the woods. Yeah, so then you go and get it.
Which I really enjoyed that mission because it reminded me of our first Otherworlds mission because we kept getting critical fails on that freaking thing that was on Ajax.
It wasn't even that hard to kill. You just got to shoot it, and we couldn't shoot it.
And we kept missing.
And he shot me.
Yeah, I shot you, which is why, how did I miss that and shoot Ajax? The same thing. How did you drop the weapon? So...
Yeah, like one guy in Borderlands, he's even goes to pick up the weapon and it like breaks all of his fingers.
It breaks all of his fingers and downs you. It literally takes all your health. It doesn't matter if you're at full health with full shield. It kills you.
Yeah, I thought they'd bring you back or whatever, but
I did too. No, you die.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is and I was like, actually lost money from this? What?
Yeah.
Nah, it's okay though. I mean...
It was a cool weapon. It served pretty well for me for a little while. I used it until I found something better.
I actually haven't used it yet, but I will soon, I guess. I'll try it just for the heck of it.
It can be pretty annoying. I tried to kill a dragon with it, and I just ended up quitting because you shoot with it and it drops. Like, it just falls out of your hands. And so I'll be sitting there shooting and switch weapons. I'm like, stop it. And the dragon kept killing me, so I had to switch to something else.
Yeah, so out of all the enemies, we said the skeletons were kind of annoying, things like that. What was your favorite enemy to fight?
That's a tough one. I actually really enjoyed the pixies just because they were frenemies. But it probably, the trees.
The little stumpies and stuff.
Yeah, which I could...
Those guys were easy.
I memorized where the criticals were on them.
Yeah.
It was just right anywhere where their eyes were, like in between there. So I could kill them rather easily.
Yeah, I do, like, enjoy those, though. And I enjoy that area a lot. It's just very, like, I guess pleasant to look at. I like the golems. They're pretty cool, too. The first time I saw a huge one, I forgot what they're called, but they had the huge, like, iron mace hand and all that.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of freaked me out for a second.
Oh, I just fell asleep.
But, yeah, that's the end of this Vindicated podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let us know what you think about the new DLC. I'm pretty sure we'd all advise you to play it if you guys are Borderlands fans. It's a great DLC, totally worth the money. Completely, definitely worth the money. It's a lot of fun. Until next time.